Hi guys, Shelly here with the Gray Wren Nest. Look at this. My vanilla strawberry hydrangea standard. It never lets me down. Isn't this gorgeous? It's going into its, I would say fifth season. And I'm 5'2", so it shows you how tall and wide. It's beautiful. And when it rains, these have a slight droop, but it does not drop to the ground. But since it's so tall now, when it kind of droops just a little, I mean, it's just like the heads just kind of like go like this. It's still stunning. I have pictures from last year in my other videos you can take a look. We are expecting some pretty serious weather coming our way, so I thought, you know what, I better get out here and I better make sure that I get this on camera while it's looking gorgeous. Pretty soon it'll start getting some pink in it, but right now it's the beautiful creamy white, and I absolutely love, love, love this stage. It's one of the most beautiful times in my garden. Let me show you some more. So before I move on to another hydrangea bush, I'm still under my vanilla strawberry standard. I want to show you my autumn joy sedum. This sedum never lets me down. Now there are 1, 2, 3, 4 plants, and this is the second replanting of it. The first planting, they were just tiny little plants, 4 of them. But it got so big and so massive. Like I said, we're going into our 5th season. I would say season 3, I dug them up in the early spring. I took 1 plant, probably, I think it was the front one because it gets a little more sun than the rest, so it was always a little bigger. And I divided 1 plant that got really, really big into 4, and these are the 4, and then I gave my other 3 big ones away to the neighbors. That's what I tend to do when I replant things, or you know, resize them or prune them down. If they have roots and they can be repotted or you know, replanted, then I let my neighbors know, and usually I'm pretty good about salvaging them and giving them a new home. But isn't this beautiful? Soon that will be blooming with its gorgeous autumn colors. But right now, I'm basking in this beautiful spring white. So our temperatures here in Ohio have been in just kind of a funk. Notice again, it's dreary so far, although I do see some sun over in that area. So hopefully our sun comes up today, and well, it'll come up, but you know what I mean. I don't see any clouds today, and I think it's supposed to get in the 90s. So it's odd because it's down in the low 60s at night, which when we start getting this kind of hot weather, it's usually the nighttime's pretty warm as well. So we're getting the nice cool nights and the hot days for a little bit. We're in that heat dome that's coming up for the 2nd time. But here's the interesting thing. Hydrangeas love, love, love the cool nights. So if it gets real, real hot in the day and then the extreme cold nights, that's when they start turning. At least the panicles that are supposed to turn pink. So these might turn pink a little bit sooner than normal based on our weather pattern that we're having. But let me move on. I shared in my last video that this is kind of like my catch-all, where I have my Supertunias just in case the rabbits come and eat more, which they have. I'll share that in a little bit. But I just come and I pull this out by the root ball and I replant it, and they do great. Did you know you could do that? Here's my Carl Forster grass. and it is always looking beautiful. So this is my morning east side sun. Of course, more hydrangeas. Yes, I love them. This is a Bobo. Now these are about, I want to say 4 years old. This is a little Quickfire, and see, it's turning pink, but that's what it's supposed to do. Isn't that beautiful? Ooh. Now, if yours is turning brown instead of pink, that means it's not getting enough water. So you might want to start watering more, add more drip, and I started doing that because this one started turning brown on me. So I added another drip line. This time I have it on top of the mulch so that I can watch and make sure that my line doesn't get clogged. And that's really my fault. I didn't test the line this spring like I should have before I, got well into the summer. And I think maybe it's starting to get clogged after a 4-year stint, which makes sense. I have semi-hard water, we have a water softener, and we do have city water, but our water is awful. And it's still hard, even though it's softened and it's city. So this, if yours is looking more like this one, then you need more water. And it wouldn't hurt to fertilize. For some reason, this one survived a little bit better. So I have a feeling it's got a little bit of a clog down here, and that's why I added another drip line. So Bobo, little Quickfire, Bobo, Quickfire, and a Bobo. Stunning! So here's my view looking up the hill. Isn't that beautiful? Like I said, this is the east side of my house. It gets sun until about 2 o'clock maybe. Maybe a little less than that. And this is going into my back. Let me get a little closer. This is the north side of my house. And I do only get, let's see, the sun hits about 4 o'clock until sunset, which is not bad, but it's still not a lot of light. And honestly, I think that these Supertunias need more light, but they're still going strong. Look how beautiful. But wait till you see my morning pots on the front of my house on the south, I call it southeast, more south. Gorgeous. They're stunning. These are still beautiful, but the other ones are huge and massive. These are just big in my opinion, because I have 6 of them in here, and in the front I only have 4, and wait till you see them. So this is, I always thought it was more comparable to a Limelight. It's the off-brand at Menards. I've explained it in my other videos, so please go take a look. Because it's a fascinating way that I purchased them. But one of my viewers said, no, I think it's more like a vanilla strawberry, just like your front one. The cones are a little bit different, so I'm not really sure. I just know it's an off-brand. But I want to share this with you. At the beginning of the season, I made a frog at the base of this plant. This version of the hydrangea tree, it droops like you would not believe, but you wouldn't know it now, would you? And we have had lots of rain, lots of storms. I mean, some pretty significant wind in the 60-mile-an-hour range every once in a while this summer so far. And I mean, I thought my whole hydrangea tree was just going to be blown away. But it survived, and look, it's still standing tall. And let me show you why. In the beginning, I'm sure you guys thought I was crazy, because it looked rather funny. But do you see that frog that I'm making in here, this cage? I have a full video on how I did this. This is my second summer. I was very successful last summer. You can take a look at my last August-September video of how gorgeous it still looked after a full season. I'll continue to update you. And this is only about half the size that it will be by the end of the summer. It's amazing how much these grow, even after they bloom. And those Supertunias are doing great. This is Supertunia Paradise, Vista Paradise. This is the second standard. I have the two here in the middle that are exactly alike that droop. And then on the ends I have the other variety of the standard from Menards. All four of these are from Menards. Going into the third season because I've overwintered them twice now. And here's the frog in this one. See, you can't even see it, can you? You have to really look and you have to get up close. But from a distance you would never know. I think it's gorgeous, and I think it's a great way to make sure that your plants stay upright. And it took me a while to figure this out on a standard. Now the ones that you grow in the ground, it's real easy to make a dome out of that green plastic and let your hydrangeas grow up through it, especially if you have Annabelles that droop really bad. But I'm here to say this is a doable, workable way to keep your hydrangea standards upright. So take a look at the video I started. I think I posted it in, maybe March. But it's on my channel, and just look up my garden videos. And then my fourth hydrangea here, it matches the one all the way down there, but you'll notice that one's in more bloom. And the reason is that this gets the morning sun and the evening sun and has a break midday. Just that one on the corner. It's amazing what sun will do. And then this one. But you can see the buds are coming out, the blooms, and it will be a showstopper in no time. Also, guys, I want to share, if you have standards and you're tired of the wind blowing them over because you think your pots are big enough and they're sturdy enough, and they continue to tip over during a big rainstorm or a windstorm, try these half barrels. I got them at Lowe's, and they also have, what you can no longer see because I have to go like this, but they have pond liners in them. That is a plastic pond liner, and even on the label it said for half barrels, which was amazing to me. And it fits in there perfectly. It helps keep the water away from the inside of the barrel, except of course at the bottom where I have holes for the drainage, which you can see here. I'm going to have to come back in with a, concrete fungicide stuff to clean my concrete off. But that's a trade-off that I have because this has a rust belt, steel belt around it. And I knew that would be the case because, I want my water to drain out. But the trade-off was worth it because when it storms, I don't worry anymore. They stay nice and tall, and these barrels are not going to budge. They are heavy. I know I stated this in my last video, but I am a little concerned about how I'm going to overwinter these. It'll be a different type of overwintering. So follow along when the fall season hits. I will definitely share my method, and then next March, hopefully I'm reporting great news because they will stay in this location, but with a different type of overwintering system going on. And then I have the west side of my house, and this is the hill that I showed you in the last video when it was in full bloom. Now I can't The only thing that goes in stages here that keeps blooming are, of course, my gorgeous roses that I have. Calypso rose is that tall one there. And that's about as tall as it will get. And then I have Italian ice. So it goes Italian ice, proven winners Italian ice, and then Calypso rose, Italian ice, Calypso rose. I have 5 on that side, and I have 5 on this side. And they are in their lull season to where, you know, it's not a beautiful show right now, but I can guarantee you it's going to put on another great show, and I'll be sharing some more. And then, of course, my daylilies. They put on a great performance this year. I did capture that as well and shared it with you. But let me show you about these roses. This is Calypso rose, and look what it does. How many roses get speckles on them? Ta-da! One of my absolute favorite roses. And for your viewing pleasure, I thought I would insert pictures when this area was in its absolute glory a few weeks ago. So in my earlier videos this summer, I really haven't shared much about this hydrangea hedge here. These are 3. 1, 2, 3. This is this is Limelight Prime. Limelight Prime. And it's in its 4th year. Pretty confident it's number 4, maybe even number 3, but I think it's number 4. They're as tall as I am. Right here. This is my eye level. Look at this. It's just so full and so beautiful, and it's not even fully bloomed out yet. So these are real winners because, and let me back up to show you. I'm on a hill right here, and the wind barrels across here. Woo! This is like Wind Alley, and they are nice, tall, straight, and saying, "Look at me." And when I go down near the road, even though this hill starts to go down, they are getting tall enough to where all of these top blooms are viewed by the roadside, and it's so pretty. So moving up the hill, this is my kitchen window, and these are my knockout roses. I want to say they're peach, pretty sure they're peach, not coral. And I've shared with you how I've cut them down to the ground for the reason with the bees and the wasps, with the problem that we had, and they did not disappoint. That was last summer. In fact, it was about this time last year, because I know my husband traveled to India and I was home alone dealing with all those wasps. So these got cut to the ground. Big old story on that one. Take a look. I have a video almost dedicated to it because I was so so disappointed and desperate, and I cried a lot, I have to admit. I also have a garden socks video. That's what you see on this border. These are Supertunia Vista Paradise again, in a border, and they're in garden socks. It's getting harder and harder to see the garden socks, but it's my watering planting system on top of rocks, or a hard to plant area. You could do it on concrete, a wooden patio if you needed, you know, a pretty border of flowers. But originally garden socks was meant for, you know, vegetable gardens, a sustainable way to have edible gardens. And I thought, I need to change that into a border of flowers so that I don't have to dig in those rocks. This is my 2nd summer, and I'm happy to report I'm using the exact same garden socks, you know, filled with dirt, and of course amended the soil. So that is the same sock from last year, just replanted. Last year was purple. This year, of course, is my beautiful paradise pink. And those hydrangeas are little hotties. Little hotties. Let me tell you about them. You can't go wrong. Oh my gosh. Now these are a little bit, I don't want to say behind, but they always are every season. This one tends to bloom a little later than my front ones, and wait till you see the front ones. But little hotties are I can't even find the word for it. If you're looking for a hydrangea that does not overtake your garden, because this is year 4 maybe. Look how wide it is. It's probably 4.5 to 5 foot wide each plant. I'm not kidding. And yes, I do keep them way pruned down. So I'd say these are probably 3.5 to 4 foot high. They would be much higher. They would probably be up to here if I hadn't pruned them all the way down. But they are showstoppers. And what I truly love, you can't see it on this yet because they're still not far enough in the season, but this cone here is just so dense once it's fully bloomed. And pretty soon you won't even see any green here because the cones get so large, so dense, never droop, never brown. I'm telling you, they do not brown, guys. So if you're having problems with hydrangeas that brown instead of going to the beautiful baby pinks or the, you know, the mauvey pinks in the fall, and they turn brown instead, this is your winner right here. I'm here to say it is a showstopper. Never droops, never browns. And take a look at these leaves. Look how healthy these leaves are. I mean, they're just, I just can't get over this hydrangea bush. It is just, wow. So give it a try. You won't be disappointed. And no, I am not sponsored by First Editions to say that. It is truly my own opinion. But if you're from First Editions and you're looking at this, hey, come on out, reach me. I'd be happy to do a commercial with you because can't go wrong with little hotties. And I'd be happy to share what I know about these with the world. Right now it's just through my YouTube videos. But take a look. This border of Garden Socks, now I am sponsored by Garden Socks, so I'm an affiliate. So full disclosure there. But if I didn't believe in the product, I wouldn't share it. I promise I would not share it. That's how much I believe in Garden Socks, the whole method. And I will continue to use it year after year after year and plant up different color Supertunias in them just for a variety. Each year is a little different. First year it was purple, now it's pink. Now these hydrangeas are in its, I think we're going into our 3rd full summer, so 2 full seasons so far. And the cone on this is just as dense. In fact, you would almost think it is the little hottie over here. Because look, those cones look very similar. Look. You almost can't tell the difference. But you can tell the difference in the leaf structure. These get a little more chlorotic, so I need to add a little bit of iron to these. Whereas those are a deeper green leaf. Do you see the difference? And this is Little Lime Punch. And it will be a showstopper here soon. It's gorgeous right now. Like I said, I love, love, love the early stages of hydrangeas when they're this white and creamy. But this one will turn a punchy color. I'm curious to see if it matches this one. Wouldn't that be beautiful? And I have 3 of them. 1, 2, And third one's tucked in back there. So this is what we just viewed. There's the sun coming up. So we're moving from the west side of the house over to more of the south side and then southeast side. So south and west. Let me show you my shoes. That's dew from the grass. 90 degrees during the day, 60 at night, and we have dew in July. That's unheard of. I think you're upside down. All right, and here is the south facing, and those are my little lime punches, and of course my garden socks going across. Now I want you to take a look at this. Ta-da! 1, 2, 3, 4. These Supertunia Vista Paradise are on drip, or excuse me, I'm sorry, not on drip, on self-watering pots, and they are loving it. Love, love, love. Look at that beautiful centerpiece. But the Supertunias are pretty much gobbling it up. There are 4 plants in here, and pretty soon I might have to do a little trimming. Look, it's going to touch the ground. It's gorgeous when it touches the ground, but then my little bunnies come along and eat it all up anyway. So I kind of try to keep it a little bit up off the ground, and of course prevent it from growing into the garage. See this one here? That's what it's doing right there. It's growing that way, and then pretty soon the garage door will catch it. So I might have to do a little trimming soon. This one is starting to grow up into the siding. They are aggressive growers, but they are so pretty. This is my second season planting Vista Paradise. It looks a little more red from the street, but quite honestly, when you get up close, they're more of a hot pink. In my last video, I think I shared with you that I was just about ready to give up on these Supertunia Vista Whites Snowdrift until I realized it was a water problem. It wasn't a growth habit of these. As you can see, they are very happy now. I took my time with them when I realized it was a water issue, because this main water thing right here was chewing? That's not a word. Was chewed by an animal. I'm thinking a rabbit. So I went and got one of my little animal thingies and put it out here by the mailbox to keep the rabbit away. I'm pretty sure it was a rabbit, because a deer would have devoured these by now. And once again, they're in garden socks. Last year I had Supertunia, Mini Vista Supertunia Whites, and this year's Vista Snowdrift. And it's the bigger sister. And I love, love, love it. I'm glad I didn't pull them up. Boy, I was close. I was close to yanking them out and replanting something here, but I gave it a chance. When I realized it was a water issue, I did a lot of fertilizing, and I'm proud to say they are taking off, and pretty soon I'm sure that they are just going to devour this whole area. Remember in the last video I shared that I cut this down? So it's been a couple weeks, and just in a couple weeks I have new shoots. Look. And you would think that this is just a dead piece of wood. Don't dig it up. If you follow my method, don't dig it up. Give it a chance. Look, even the one that I didn't cut down from here is reblooming, or rebudding, I should say, for the leaf structure. Soon, since they're starting to form their leaves again, it'll start trailing back up, And if our weather holds out in late summer, it will bloom again. And I say if because if we get an early winter, an early fall, I should say, with really, really cold weather, which sometimes happens, then of course it won't bloom again. But I have seen this bloom several times, twice in the summer cycles, and it's just amazing. So if you have a clematis and you don't like all that brown woodiness that's left behind after the first blooms, cut it down and see what happens. Can't hurt it. It's just going to regenerate itself. Question is, will your season be long enough for it to rebloom again? And ours is like a 75% chance that yes, it will. Maybe even a 90% chance, because I've had great success. So let me share this area here. This is our front of our house. This gets a lot of shade. This is a lollipop, coralberry lollipop tree that gets those little crab apples on it, but they don't drop. They're persistent, and the birds eat them. Now these, I rarely get. I don't know if there's even any on them this year. It depends on the season. But look, nice and healthy. But I don't think it gets enough sun to produce all those berries, but I'm not complaining. It's not the berries I go for, it's the flowering in the spring, and I get quite the show. Their flowers are pink, but below, look, my Heuchera coral bells, stunning. And this is tiny Quickfire. Now let me show you something on this Quickfire. For Quickfire being as tiny as it is, I want to show you here. First, this will be a solid mass of blooms. I mean, it's real sturdy and thick right now, never droops. But can you see what's happening down here? These are starting to come out. So at every leaf node, pretty soon this cone will form all the way down that stem and be stunning and huge. Have you ever seen such a stunning sunrise? Oh, let's see if I can get out of that direct sun. Oh, how pretty. So this is where we started. Little Hottie, little Hottie, little Hotties. But let me share with you what I mean about this is a little more advanced than the one on the other side. Just look at this. And it's not even fully mature. Look how big and full and thick. Oh, wow. And once again, gorgeous leaf structure. Nice deep green. Oh, now this one is 2 plants. You can see it's double the wide. 2 plants, 1, 2, that are growing into each other underneath my window. And then below that, I have Proven Winners Salsa Mango, little miniature, more like carpet roses. Isn't that beautiful? And they are in their second show of blooms. So pretty. A second cycle of blooms. My maple tree, my little Japanese maple, is holding its own. So I really want to thank the viewer who gave me the suggestion to pull back my mulch and show the base. And that's exactly what I did. You can see right there, that line, the mulch was all the way up there, but you don't realize it, but year after year after year of putting more mulch down, it gets buried too deep and it struggles. So there you go. And the more sun that it gets, the more green that it will turn. So that's normal with this one. But what's not normal are the brown leaves. And I'm happy to report I have a little tiny little bit of browning here, but I can't complain about that. Isn't that beautiful? Let me back up. Ta-da! So pretty. Even has a new shoot right up there. You want to come out? Come out for the video? Come out and say hello. Say hi, Kale. Kale usually makes an appearance in our videos. Kale is 17 years old, a Chihuahua, not a miniature as you can tell. And he has been such a wonderful addition to our family. So I hope my video inspired you to get out in your garden, grow those hydrangeas and rose bushes that I love so much, and please share, what's your favorite? What do you love to garden with? So comment below and let me know what your favorite thing is in my garden, and share what your favorite thing is in your garden. I'd love to hear from you. And I thank you for everyone who has followed me on my garden videos, because as you know, I am not your typical YouTube influencer. I'm more of the influencer on the sewing, embroidery, quilting side of things. And I throw in my gardening in the summer because that's just who I am. And I've heard some of you say, well, why don't you separate out and do 4 different YouTubes? No, that's not me. This is me. So my crafting and my gardening in one YouTube. So I hope that I don't lose you over the winter when I don't have a garden to share. And I hope you stick around for each season, because so far I've shared 3 seasons with you and I still have a great viewership. And I want to thank you for coming along for the ride each season. And I have more to report as the fall comes along. So stay tuned. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.